What's up, planty friends? I'm back coming at you with a quick video. I'm hoping it'll be quick. My top 5 easiest houseplants are. Let's get in it. I had asked on my Instagram if you guys were interested in either top 5 easy to care for plants or my top 5 wish list plants. 75% of you said that you wanted to know what the easiest house plants are to take care of. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, but I still might do the top 5 wish list plants only because I think my boyfriend wants me to do that, so he knows what kind of plants to buy me. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that video just for his viewing pleasure. So today I've picked and pulled in my easiest plants that I have. I've shown them quite frequently already, so it shouldn't be too much of a difference. You might have seen all of them in my plant video that I did a tour of all of my plants. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. It has all of my collection in there. I may have added a few since then, actually. It's a problem. So getting into my top 5, there are not any particular order. So not like the easiest to the hardest top 5, like these are just top 5. Low maintenance, easy to care for, easy to know when to water, and they just grow, baby. Like, I don't have to do nothing. They just grow, and I just sit back and I watch it and I say, "You're so beautiful." And it says, "Thank you, I'm growing for you." That's the relationship I'm looking for with my plants. The first one I'm going to show you, this one. This is an Aglaonema silver stripe, or a Chinese evergreen. He is a cute boy. I love him. He sits on my desk. I stare at him all day long. Look at the colors here. So defined, the different colors of green in each leaf. It has 3 branches down here at the bottom. That's how it was when I bought it. And this is a new leaf, this is a new leaf, this is a new leaf, that's a new leaf. And there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 new leaves coming in. So since I've got it, it's probably put out like 15 new leaves, and I got it in April and it's September. It grows really well. It did get fungus gnats really bad, so that was a whole situation, and I got rid of them. So the soil in here, I keep it dry. I water it maybe once a week. He is in a pot that does not have a drainage hole, which there's a lot of debate, like that could be really problematic, right? You water it, there's no drainage hole, the water sits at the bottom, it sits in its own soil. So what I do when I have a pot that doesn't have a drainage hole, I put a layer of rocks at the bottom. Don't tell my neighbors, but I steal the rocks that are outside in front of their place and I put them inside of my pots. I layer it with the rocks on the bottom, so if the water does drain to the bottom, it's not sitting directly in the water. That's what I think, that's what I'm envisioning. What inside there it might look like, I don't know. There's also a lot of soil, so I feel like when I water it, there's probably no water that gets to the bottom of this anyways, because it gets pretty dry. So when I water it, it soaks up a lot of that water anyways. Easy to care for, Chinese evergreens, any variation of a Chinese evergreen, super easy. And this is just one of them. This one you can see you'll see it a lot. You'll see it at grocery stores or your local plant nurseries. They have this one a lot. Really easy to grow, low to medium light. I have it in a south-facing window in a room, but it's in the middle of the room and it just keeps popping out new leaves. It has a tendency to follow the light a little bit and I kind of rotate him a little bit, but he does pretty good. Aglaonema silver stripe, any variation of a Chinese evergreen. They're gonna be your friend, I promise. Spider plant. So I've talked about this guy a lot. He's gone through a lot of transition in my stories recently. It's really hard to see him because he's so big. There you go, now you can see him. Easy to care for. Like I've told you in my stories before, my previous videos, this guy's like 20 years old. Came from a clipping from my brother's friend. He propagated it. There's 3 strands in here. The roots inside of it were gnarly looking. And I repotted it about a month ago, put it in this same pot it was in, just cleaned it out, put new soil, and I trimmed a lot of it off. It was hanging really low, but I trimmed all of these little babies that are growing off of it. I trimmed the browning tips at the bottom, and I put new soil in it to give it more nutrients, and man, it's just grown like crazy. All of this right here is new growth that's come out So that's really all it needs is some new soil once every 20 years. I water it once a week. You can get 100 new plants off of it. Like this one right here, I'm gonna clip that off here soon, put it in some water, propagate it, boom, baby, it's gonna root, turn into a whole new plant. Spider plant, easy, easy, easy care plant. Medium to low light. I've seen them grow in like an office with fluorescent lighting and have no windows. So they're easy to manage. You can hang them. It can attract your cats to think that it's grass. They like to eat it. Not toxic, it's not gonna kill them, but it does make a cat hallucinate, is what I've heard. So kind of like a catnip situation. Not gonna kill your cat, but they're gonna be obsessed with it. So you might wanna keep it out of the way. Hanging pots for these are great, or just like a really high stool so it can hang over off the edge. There's a lot of other variations of spider plants as well. There's some that have like curlier leaves. There's ones that have like white variations in it. So you can see different types of ones that are out there. They're all really easy to care for. Pothos of any kind. So there's a lot of variations of pothos out there. Some of them are variegated, some of them are jade, where they're not variegated at all. Some of them have silver in them. Neon marble queen pothos, which is on my wish list for plants, is a marble queen because it has pure white variegation in it, and it's like white and light green. Ooh, so beautiful. But this one were clippings from an office plant. Took 3 clippings, propagated them, put them in here. We've gone through fungus gnats like crazy with this guy, but he's come back, he's come through, and he grows. You guys, you can't even really see how long he truly is. Hold on. Yeah, he grows all the time. Always a new leaf. You can see here, a new node trying to grow out. You can see that off of this new leaf. So this leaf hasn't even unfurled, and there's already a new one coming out of it. Same thing goes for this strand here. This one grows really curly and really condensed. I'm not sure why it does that, but it has a new leaf coming out of it. And then down here, this beautiful long thing right here also has some new leaves coming out on it too. So, can you just take a look at that variegated leaf? I can't get enough of this plant. Man, do like a little bit of a sexy shot right now. Wow. Easy to grow. Everyone's seen a pothos. They grow everywhere. Offices with no windows, with just fluorescent lighting, they grow. They could probably grow in the dark. You could put them in a closet and it would probably grow, as long as you keep it watered. So easy. They do like to drink, so I do water this one once a week. Quite a bit of water. I make sure it's really, really wet. Yeah, easy. Everyone knows about pothos. And the best part about it is if you see one somewhere, take a clipping of it, propagate it, you have a plant. I feel like every pothos ever has come from a clipping from another plant and has been propagated in someone's house. Once upon a time, there was a golden pothos far, far away. Someone took a clipping of it and it grew, and then they took a clipping of it and it grew, and so on and so forth. That's your storytelling about golden pothos. Easy to grow, easy to manage. Everyone could have a pothos. So I can't brag enough about pothos. Everyone should have 100 pothos in their home. Okay, so for the next one, I had to move you because as easy as this ficus tree is, she is a little finicky. She doesn't like to be moved because the leaves break off pretty easily and there's a white sap inside of it. I've had this one for a while. New leaves grow on it, old leaves die on it. So she drops leaves, she puts out new leaves. She's been dropping a lot of leaves lately, but other than that, like, they're super, super easy to manage. Any type of ficus. So you might have even seen ficus out there. They're called rubber trees. Those are also a type of ficus. Easy. Sometimes you can hear these plants being referred to as the office plant because people kind of always have a ficus like this grow in an office with like no windows. They grow really easily as long as you keep it watered. And even if you forget to water, it'll still grow. You might drop a few leaves and turn a little yellow, but you can give it water, it'll come right back. So I've seen these plants, these ficus plants, I've seen ficus trees. They're really, really, really tall and bushy on top and more of a stump on the bottom. The rubber trees are also so easy. They have bigger leaves on them and those grow, they're a type of ficus and they grow really easily pretty much anywhere. I've only transplanted this guy once He also had fungus gnats really bad. I treated those and I haven't had issues in about a year and a half. And I put him in a really, really big pot here, and it does have a drainage hole, but I water it and the water never, so I don't even put a tray underneath it because I water it and it never gets to the bottom. I posted a video on my Instagram not too long ago of me cleaning the leaves. It does get really dusty. It's right next to the furnace is like right here in a closet right next to me, so it does get dusty. So I do try to use a white vinegar or even just lime juice water solution. You need some acidity to break up the water spots and the dust to clean it off, and it's really safe for all the leaves. So I try to keep it dusted and clean as much as I can so the photosynthesis can work and create new leaves, and that's the whole point of it, to get to grow. I have this in the living room, and behind us here is a west-facing window, so it doesn't get direct sunlight. It gets very, very indirect sunlight, and she grows a lot. Nice, it takes up a lot of space. It fills up this area really nicely. And I tried moving it once and put it in a different window, and I was like, I have to have it here because it just fills this area up in the living room so nicely. Aloe vera, the easiest of easy. Like, you cannot get easier than an aloe plant. So easy to propagate also. It started popping out new leaves, and you can see that here. New leaf, new leaf. Where's that other one? Oh, this one right here is literally growing in the crack of the pot. And so they just pop up like crazy. I let it dry out, like really, really dry it out, and then I soak it. And I put him in this corner over here, so it doesn't get direct light, but it does get indirect light. Everybody should have an aloe plant. Also, there's health benefits to an aloe. Cutting it, squeezing out all the gel, got a sunburn, baby, you got yourself covered. Oh, something about the way they grow, it just looks really funky. It has a cool texture. There's a lot of variations of aloe out there, and they're all very easy to grow. I don't feed it any nutrients or anything like that. I do not do anything to the soil. Look at that, there's another little guy popping up. Least amount of care is an aloe. Just let it grow. If you put it in a window that's in direct light, huge, massive. They get so if they do get a little unruly and they get too big for you, find somebody who wants the trimmings, or propagate it and give it to a friend or something, because everyone can have an aloe. Not toxic to cats, not toxic to dogs. My cats have nibbled on this and they're fine. Aloe vera, so easy. I feel like everyone's like, Pothos, 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 so easy, so easy. But an aloe, especially if you're like a succulent person, if you're going for that vibe of like the desert theme, man, you can get any type of variation of an aloe and trust it. Some people have a hard time with cactus because they overwater. You can even underwater a cactus, but an aloe I think is a tried and true. This is one of my original plants. I've had this one for a really long time, so I definitely vouch for an aloe plant. Also, he sits here too with, this is our dear friend Jeffrey, and I just love the aesthetic that this whole corner has. It's like bringing out my true goth self. So that's Jeffrey and the aloe plant. All right, there you have it. Those are the top 5 easy care houseplants that I have in my collection. If you find one that's easy for you that you have that I didn't mention, comment below and let me know. I want to know what other easy houseplants are out there. If you have any other comments or anything on the care for any of the plants that I listed, please comment as well. Love to hear what you guys have to say. As usual, if you like this video and you think I'm kind of funny, go ahead and like and subscribe to this video. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram as well. I post a lot of stories about funny memes about plants and my stressful life as a grad student. Thanks, guys!